Hello! I'm going to show you what I took with me for the Camino, what I packed and what's actually useful and what's not. So to start with, I want to show you my rucksack. It's the same one John has, just a different colour. It's a Deuter Act Trail Pro 34 litres. We looked at a lot of rucksacks and we tried a lot of them on in Switzerland in a camping store, and I highly recommend you do try on your rucksack before you go on the Camino, because it needs to be fitted to your body, and if you're long or short or whatever, this rucksack might not fit you. So I really suggest that you try it on. The reason why we chose this is because it is like a suitcase rucksack. You can open it from the bottom up. So when you're in an albergue and you're trying to get something at the bottom of your bag, you don't actually have to go through the top and then go and try and find, oh, where is that thing, you know. It's a lot easier to access things. What John didn't mention is that it also has a rain cover, and it goes from the bottom over the top of it, but it won't cover the handles. So if it rains heavily, you will actually get water between your shoulders and the rucksack handles, and you will get drenched there. So that's why a poncho is a much better idea. So that's the back, okay? And my little Swiss cow and my Camino shell and a beautiful feather I found in the way. Okay, now as for what's inside, lots of things. To start with, I was walking in my Echo shoes. They were just normal walking shoes, and I burned them yesterday up at the lighthouse, which is not allowed, but we did it anyway, and it feels good. I got a lot of blisters all the time, and the shoes were well worn for 2 years, and I don't know why I got blisters. John reckons they were maybe a little bit too small because of the movement when you walk downhill, and so your toes are spreading and then they get squashed and you get blisters. Plus my toes are a bit uneven, so maybe they were rubbing too hard. I also got Keen sandals, walking sandals, and I would not go on the Camino without them ever again. They are fantastic. Better than a pair of flip-flops. I can wear these into the shower. I can use this as a second pair of walking shoes. They got good soles, full of sand at the moment. Very comfortable. They have lots of room for the toes at the front, so when I had problems with my toes, which is pretty much throughout the whole Camino, I was really glad to be changing into these sandals throughout the day. I also got a pair of walking pants with zips, which is good because I can put my wallet in there, my credit cards, and I bought these at Decathlon. They were only very cheap, and I probably throw them out because they're a bit used now. And I got myself another pair of like yoga pants. So what I like about this combination is I usually wore these during the day to walk, to hike, and at night time I wore these when I was showered and also to go to bed so I can cover myself. I freeze a lot, so I like to, you know, wear long pants to go to bed, and yeah, that's that. So that's my 2 pants. Because we were hiking in summer and early autumn, I went for 2 t-shirts from Icebreaker. They're full merino, 100% merino t-shirts. And I also got an Icebreaker long sleeve t-shirt, which I bought along the way. But it gives you a little bit more protection, and I can wear it as a layered thing. So it's really cold in the morning. I can take that off during the day and just wear the t-shirt. And I also have an Icebreaker hoodie, which is a little bit thicker. It's almost like a jumper, but it's still not too thick. So the layering really helped with the weather, you know, hot, cold, whatever. These are my shirts. I got 3 pairs of undies, one I'm wearing. I got 3 pairs of bras. I actually chucked one in the bin, but these are not your usual underwire bra, which is really uncomfortable, and I hate wearing bras, but I got a bit of boobies, so I have to wear something to support them. And so these ones are really good. They're like a sports bra. They support my boobs, but they're very comfortable. They don't itch. I don't sweat in them. It's really, really nice to walk. So I've got a lot of these now, but I took 3 with me on the Camino, and one is a bit dirty now, so It's a lighter color, I threw it in the bin. So that's that. I got 3 pairs of socks. These are merino socks as well. One I'm wearing. And I was told to wear stockings underneath to avoid getting blisters. And I think it does help.
Tights?
Yeah, like tights. Yeah, they're like stocking material. Yeah?
Yeah.
So I feel they do help. They will break. You know, you wear them, you wash them, they rip. You buy new ones, they're very cheap.
They get stuck to your blister plasters.
Yeah, they get stuck to the plasters and they rip apart, so that's not a problem. I got myself a pair of gloves, which they're on my to-do list, on my must-have list. Because they're just beautiful in the morning. Then I got myself a buff, a merino buff, which is basically, you can use it as a hat, you can use it as a protection for your neck in the morning. This is fantastic, I love this stuff, and this is actually two-way, I can wear it both ways. You can wash it, I love it, I love my buff, I'm glad I bought that. I also bought along a summer hat, you know, like a proper hat, but I haven't used them because I started sweating a lot in my hat. So instead of using my hat, I found this, I don't know what you call it, shawl?
Shawl?
Yeah.
Scarf?
Scarf, a lot better, and I just turn it into a hat and bind it.
Ah, a bit like a bandana.
Yeah, like a bandana, and that kept me protected from the sun. I also, when it was really hot, I poured water on it, made it wet. It kept me cool. I love this. It's very lightweight, and you can use it as, you know, as a shawl as well. I love that. So I recommend, don't worry about a hat, take something like this. Okay, now part 2. I also bought myself a sarong, simply for the reason because I think every woman needs a sarong on the Camino. It has multi-purpose function, like if you don't want a small scarf to put over your head, a sarong can actually be put over your head and, you know, underneath the rucksack when it's really hot, so you protect your neck and your arms and everything from the burning sun, because the sun is very hot, and if you walk through the mesetas, which is like a desert, you will get burned. The other thing is you can use that as a towel, you can go to the beach, you can fashion it into a dress of some sort and cover yourself after a shower if you don't have much space. You can turn it into a skirt. I mean, there's so many ways you can wear that. But it's also a nice shawl in the early morning, you know, protecting your neck and keeping you warm up here. So I love my sarong. I would not travel without it.
What material is it?
It's from the Ziploc. I don't know. It feels cottony, but I don't know. It's lovely. It just feels nice. It's got a really nice feel to it. It doesn't say. No idea. I cut the labels out. No idea. Anyway.
Moving on.
Moving on. I got a sleeping bag. Now, I was told not to take a sleeping bag because I'm traveling in summer. I won't need it. So I took a silk inlay, and I was always cold. I also used that cotton cover that John has, and I was still cold. So I bought myself a sleeping bag. I actually got a down sleeping bag in France, and I should have taken that with me. But anyway, I bought a Deuter Dreamlight 500. It's got temperature range between +13 and +10. There has been nights where it was cooler and I was still perfectly warm. I love my sleeping bag, and I would not travel without it, even if you travel in the summer.
That's a synthetic one as well, isn't it?
It's a synthetic one, so if you do get bed bugs, the good thing is you can chuck that in the wash machine, whack it, you know, and tumble dry it over 60 degrees, and it kills the bed bugs. But so far, I've had no problems with that. I do pack my sleeping bag into one of these babies. This is a waterproof stuff bag that I bought along the way. Now, I'm going to buy more of these because they're very practical to keep your stuff in the albergues, because you often sleep in bunk beds. And so what I do is, if I have stuff to hang, like, I keep this in here. If I do have bed bugs in the sleeping bag, for starters, it will not go into my big rucksack, and you know, it's a huge concern. So you roll this at least 3 times, and it's got a buckle and a clip, and you can clip that anywhere on your bunk bed. You know, it clips onto anything, which is really practical. So you want to separate your washing into underwear and socks and maybe t-shirts. Instead of using cubes, which I love too, you can use these bags and just hang them up on your bunk bed, and you have order in your packing, you know, which is important. But this protects my big bag from bed bugs in case they get into my sleeping bag. So I can keep them isolated, and I do not have the problem in the rest of my packing stuff. And they come in different sizes. I have a smaller one, which I use for my documents, passport, you know, credentials. So if water gets on my bag, these are going to stay dry and safe. So this is that. Now, I also have my laptop, of course, my diary, and my charger for the laptop, which I've wrapped in a little, you know, little thing to protect it. Now, if I was to do the Camino again, I would not do any work. It's going to be just travel and enjoyment and no business. It's been a real challenge to do business for me on the Camino, because even so I bought a local SIM card, the internet is crap all across Spain. Sometimes you can get online, sometimes you cannot. When you need to do calls, the connection's not strong enough, and it's just a big hassle. So, and the other thing is, after I walked, you know, 20, 30 Ks a day, the least on my mind is to do business and work, because you're so whacked, you just want to have a shower, wash your clothes and relax for the day, because you're just too tired to do anything else. So that's that. So if you're thinking about doing business on the Camino, forget about it, okay? I also carry a torch. Again, this is an ancient model. If I was buying a torch, I'd buy a smaller one. They come a lot better these days.
That's a headlamp torch.
Yeah, like a headlamp torch, which is good because it keeps your hands free, yeah?
Yeah, very ideal.
I also got Kinesio tape. This is tape which is very elastic, and it's really good to support your limbs. Like, I've started having problems with my knees, and I bought myself like a knee protecting here. It's in the bathroom now, just to support my knee during the walking. But this is also good if you have problems with your ankles or with your shins, and you can tape that along your skin, and it's really supporting your limbs. So this stuff was like €1 in Burgos somewhere. Very cheap, very good. I've also got my bathing towel. This is an older towel. We had that 25 years. But what I love about it, excuse me, it's not synthetic, yeah? So it doesn't actually smell. So yeah, I just had a coughing attack, so we had to stop the video. So yeah, they don't smell, they're lightweight, and they feel like almost like a real towel, but obviously they don't suck as much water either. So, but they're good enough, you know, they're good enough. So I put that in my cube, and that's, you know, my stuff in there. Wet wipes. These are actually approved to be put in the toilet, which is fantastic. I could not survive without wet wipes. I love that stuff. So I always have a packet of wet wipes with me, regarding where I am, whether I'm on the Camino or not. These are really, really practical, because sometimes in Spain, often actually in Spain, you go into a public toilet and there's no toilet paper. So you've got to carry something with yourself. So if you do have to do your business, you're covered for that, okay? I also carry a little synthetic, it's actually a cleaning cloth, but what I love about this is I often pack my cube at night, so I'm ready in the morning to leave the hostel room, and after cleaning my teeth and washing my face, I use this to dry. So I don't have to you know, use my big towel because it's dry from the day before and it's already packed, so I just use that, hang it on my rucksack because it's got a little thing here, and it'll dry during the day, and I can wash it every other day, and it's clean, and it does the job. So this is really practical. So that's that. My necessary, I've got a hanging necessary, which is important because you never have enough space, so you can hang it on the door handle, or you know, you find something to hang it from. Yeah, I have soap, toothpaste, toothbrush, a foldable brush for the hair, I got my underarm deo, hair wash, and shower.
They're
Actually,
all in
no
the
shower.
squeezy.
They're all in the squeezy tubes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I use soap on the Camino. Yeah, so I don't really earbuds, but I run out. I've got a washing line as well.
Come very handy.
They come very handy, the washing
Very
lines.
handy.
Yeah, and talking about washing...
What's in the bottom part?
Oh,
Is that
some
first aid?
Yeah, a bit of first aid stuff. Yeah.
Oh, not much though.
No, not much. Gloves, some steri strips in case you get a wound. Yeah.
Okay.
And a bandage. Yeah.
Okay, back to the washing.
Talking about washing, an absolute must-have on the Camino when you wash is these little babies here. Safety pins, yeah? Take them big, like big ones, because when you wash, there's often not enough pegs, and carrying pegs is cumbersome and they take a lot of space. But these little pins here, you can get quite a lot of pins in a small space.
Safety pins.
And you use them to hang your washing up on the washing line. So if it's windy, they don't fly away. Yeah? So what I'll do is, you wash, and let's pretend this is your underpair, undies. You just peg them somewhere, and you put them over the washing line, you close it, and it doesn't fly away. So, and at the end of the day, like in the morning, if your washing's not dry, you can just peg them to the side of your bag, and they dry during the day while you hike. Very,
awesome.
very handy. Yeah?
Good tip.
Yeah. Okay, now, another must-have for me is earplugs. Oh my god, I could not survive the Camino without earplugs. People are snoring every day. Not a night goes by without snoring. And I love these because I find the ones without string keep falling out of my ear. But these ones stay in my ear all night. So I've got 2 pairs, and I've only ever needed that one. But I had a backup in case it broke or whatever, so at least 1 pair. If you want to take a backup, they're not heavy. I also got myself a little eye pouch. If you're sensitive to light, then these little babies you get from the planes or in travel shops. You put them over your eye, and you go to bed and people are still in the room. You can put that over, and it might look a bit funny, but at least you can sleep, right? So that's important. So I've actually used that one a couple of times as well, and I was glad that I had it with me. So that's that. I carry all my little knickknacks in Ziploc bags with a slider. I love them because you can reuse them, and they seal things up, and it keeps things organized and separated. I've got one for plasters and competes, healing wool, all kinds of stuff. So that's, and I love this over this, the
plastic containers.
Yeah, the plastic containers for the things. This is heavy. It's cumbersome.
And it's bulky.
It's bulky, and it adds to the weight. And this is easy. It folds, and
squashes in nicely.
This is no. This is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Separate your stuff. I also got a salt and pepper mix that you never get salt and pepper in Spain, or you hardly ever get pepper. So if the food is not seasoned enough, you have your own mix with you. Yeah. Plus, it helps you to replace your lost salts when you're sweating. So that's going to go in the bin after today, and that's going to go in the bin anyway. I've got my water bottle, foldable, and I, buy these every now and then and use tap water. And then after a few days, when they get groggy, I toss these in the bin and buy new ones. So I was walking with 1.5 liters of water most days, and it's enough to get you between, bars and things like that. You can always fill them up again. So water. I've got mobile phones, local SIM, Australian SIM, charger. I've got a power bank, which is like a backup for the iPhones. You can load, charge them. I've got an iPod, which I use twice, so you don't really need an iPod. You want to listen to nature and, and that's the charger for this little baby. rain jacket. I started off with rain pants and a rain jacket. In hindsight, I would have just taken a poncho like John's because the poncho is easier, it covers your rucksack, the rain jacket doesn't cover your rucksack. Now, because I didn't take a windproof jumper like John, like a jacket, I use this to keep me warm at night. If I do this again, I would also take my goose down windproof jacket and only take a poncho and not worry about the rest. Leave that one at home. These ones I showed. Then okay, and another take. This is my belly bag, but it's on my back. So basically, once I'm showered and I'm ready to explore and I want to go out, I don't like to leave my belongings, like my valuables, in the albergue, unless I have a private room, of course. But when I'm sleeping with other people, I like to keep my valuables with me, which means my passport, my mobile phone, all of that stuff will come with me, and it's in here. And it's easy, hands-free. Usually I have my wallet and my credit cards on my body because they're in the other pants. But if I use these pants, then yes, I have been putting it in here. And as long as you don't walk through big crowds, you don't have to worry, otherwise you can carry that at the front. So this usually sits in the top of my big rucksack, and it goes into, it just like that, folds in and sits on top, and it works really well. So yeah, I think that's it from me.